The movie opens with a young girl waking her sister to bathe her, get her ready, and share the breakfast she prepared. After playing together until they grew tired, they rested on the floor. Their mother soon left, taking the younger one away. The story then shifts to a small French town in 1932, where Lee visits her older sister Christine, who works as a maid in a wealthy household. The mistress reviews Lee's job application and, after some thought, hires her for 150 francs a month with Sundays free. Until 4 p.m. Christine shows her the room they'll share, something Lee is thrilled about, having convinced their mother to let her work alongside her sister. Christine, however, prefers not to think about their mother. For Christine, the important thing is being reunited with Lee. The lady of the house is pleased too, since having them share a room saves money. Her daughter, Isabelle, is uncertain about the newcomer, but soon sees Lee preparing and serving food. Madame Dansard observes Lee carefully, impressed by her manners and especially by her cooking, which she finds so good she considers inviting friends to try it. She contrasts them with her childhood servants, who were careless and stole, noting how different the sisters are. Christine feels fortunate that Madame doesn't interfere with their work. Unlike her previous employers, she even appreciates her boss's strictness and attention to detail, urging Lee to work with energy despite the exhausting tasks. During one inspection, Madame Dansard notices some mist dust, but points it out gently without scolding. Each morning, Christine wakes up promptly to begin chores, while Lee tries to sleep a bit longer. Still, Christine insists they can't afford delays with so much work to be done. Lee admired how quickly her sister worked. Christine explained that during her convent days she had suffered from a bad leg, which kept her from walking or running normally. Still, she refused to let it hold her back and chose to face life with courage. Both sisters carried scars on their arms, reminders of the beatings their mother gave them as children for being spoiled or defiant. That day, Madame Dansard welcomed her gossiping friends, eager to make them envy the excellent servants she had. The sisters played along and enjoyed themselves before taking a walk in the park to unwind. Later, they returned with the week's groceries while Isabelle practiced knitting her grandmother's tablecloths. Outside, the sisters struggled with heavy sacks of potatoes. Meanwhile, tension rose between the sisters. Christine discovered Lee planned to send her wages to their mother, even though they were already working themselves to exhaustion. Around the same time, the mail arrived, an envelope with no return address. Inside was a letter from their mother, who wrote that she missed Lee but barely mentioned Christine. Hurt and resentful, Christine admitted she had no desire to return home. Lee tried to convince her to forgive, but Christine's bitterness spilled over into her treatment of her sister. Realizing her mistake, she quickly apologized, not wanting to turn into a monster. Lee, out of love, forgave her, and harmony was restored between them. Christine then told her sister they would no longer send money to their mother, because she had a better plan for their future. When the sisters returned home, Christine urged Lee to save her wages so that one day they could buy a place of their own. She also wanted them to spend every Sunday together. Lee agreed, and the two began playing with an old piece of fabric their mother had given them. Suddenly, the scene turned abstract, as if hinting at the absence of men in a household where the women were growing increasingly eccentric. Lee asked to see the lace Christine kept hidden under her bed. Proud of her work, Christine allowed it, knowing her skill with the needle was unmatched. Lee then asked her to try it on, and as she undressed, Christine looked away. When she finally looked, she realized it wasn't the lace that was beautiful, but her sister herself. Their suppressed feelings surfaced, and though they reflected on what they had done, they didn't appear to feel guilty. Still, they went to church to seek forgiveness, fearing divine punishment. Returning home, they resumed their duties as if nothing had happened. Isabelle, hoping for companionship, offered Lee a chocolate, since relying only on her mother for friendship wasn't enough. Lee pocketed the candy and went back to cleaning. She accidentally dropped an ornament down the stairs and called for Christine, who reassured her it wasn't broken. From the living room, Isabelle observed their odd closeness. Later that night, during her birthday celebration, Isabelle received a plain portrait from her mother as a token of affection. Inspired, Christine decided to take a photograph with Lee and contacted her employer's photographer. Though he tried to make Lee smile, the flash startled them instead. Aware they worked for Madame Dansard, he offered a small discount, but Christine insisted on paying the full 50 francs. Meanwhile, Isabelle was upstairs playing with her mother, while the sisters continued their own secret games. Madame began noticing their change in behavior, how they spoke less and spent every Sunday shut away. One day she tasted a dish Christine had prepared but found it unappealing because of its excessive salt. The sisters, meanwhile, resumed their meticulous cleaning routine. While her mother was away, Isabel indulged in her chocolates and asked Lee to style her hair like Mafalda's. Christine grew uneasy, jealous of anyone getting too close to her sister. Her worries eased after meeting with Madame, though their employer scolded Lee for fussing with Isabel instead of her duties. She also discovered the missing chocolates and inspected Christine's cooking but found no fault. Suspicion grew when she saw Lee wearing an expensive-looking coat. Christine quickly reminded her sister not to wear it during work, fearing it would draw attention. Madame began accusing her of frivolous behavior, but eventually realized the garment was Christine's handiwork while also suspecting an unusual bond between the sisters. Soon after, she pressured Christine into repairing one of Isabel's dresses, criticizing every detail until Christine lost patience, confident in her own sewing skill. Tensions deepened when Madame warned Lee not to look Isabel in the eyes again, claiming it would break her heart. Lee insisted she had done nothing wrong except remain by Christine's side. Christine confessed her fear of being separated again, her sister being all she had left. She also admitted trying to speak with Sister Veronique, who had coldly ignored her. Lee role-played as the nun, letting Christine pour out her feelings, leading to another forbidden encounter before they spent hours together in the park. Back at the house, Madame and Isabel grew suspicious. Both sisters looked pale, thinner, and sleep-deprived. That night, Lee dreamed of being chased by a skeletal figure, but Christine soothed her, urging silence so as not to disturb Madame. Terrified of abandonment, Lee begged her not to leave her alone in the house. Christine swore she never would, even as their employer grew increasingly critical, catching more overlooked dust in their chores. The next day, Christine began her chores but cut her hand on broken glass. At the same time, Lee panicked after the iron broke, burning Madame's blouse. Christine rushed to her side, urging her not to worry. Though the blouse was ruined, she didn't want Lee punished. Lee wept over the mistake, but Christine reassured her that all they could do was endure until they saved enough money to leave. Meanwhile, Madame grew irritated when her servants failed to greet her and carry her groceries. Isabel mentioned broken glass in the sink, which only heightened suspicion. Staying composed, Madame went upstairs to confront them. Anticipating trouble, Christine hurried down first, claiming the power had gone out because the iron blew a fuse. Isabel realized her blouse for the Blanchards' party was missing and demanded it. When Madame ordered Lee to bring it, Christine refused, saying that if there was no trust left, it would be better for them to leave. Enraged, Madame declared no one would ever hire them again, accusing Christine of hiding shameful sins with her younger sister. Pushed past her limit, Christine lashed out violently, beating both Madame and Isabel. The sisters descended into madness, yet carried out the killings with grim precision. The radio later reported the gruesome details: Madame Dansard's hair torn out, her teeth smashed, and even an eye found on the stairs. Days later, the sisters were discovered hiding in their room. Lee received a 20-year prison sentence.